Good morning, good evening, and good night, everybody. Obviously, we're seeing some freaky stuff in our skies. And what I'm here to tell you is it's all part of the plan. They know what they're doing right from the beginning, and we can prove it. What you're watching with the global health emergency, with the climate change, with the war in Ukraine, with train derailments that are making half of the US water supply toxic, with this drama, with that drama. There's a relentless stream of these dramas. And what we're watching is the death throes of the cabal. These guys know that that they are at the end of their rope, and they are throwing everything they can think up. That even includes using the earthquake machine in Turkey and now in Romania. These guys are nuts, but their end is very, very close. And so if we're seeing alien craft being shot down in the skies, this is just another one of those big dramas. And here's why I think that. And everything that's going on right now is described in this book. It's called The Report from Iron Mountain on the Possibility and Desirability of Peace. And do we want peace, and is it possible? So at the end of World War II, the powers that be watched the US drop bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima to devastating effect. And it changed the psychology of war forever. But it also changed something else that most people were not that aware of. And this report is about that. And the question that the report was designed to answer was this one. For the longest time, war was what held a country together and why it needed a government. It needed a government to organize its people so that it could stop those people from killing our people. Now, since the bomb had been dropped, that kind of man versus man warfare wasn't going to work anymore. It just didn't fly. And so they wrote a report asking the question, what else can we use to bind all of the people together, to make sure that they're all listening to us, the government? And you will love the answer that the Iron Mountain report gave. There are three things that will do the job to hold all of the people together. And also at the same time, bring about one world government. Those three things. The first one was pollution. Pollution is a global problem that is supranational, and all of the nations should bind together and give up their own unique laws so that we can tackle pollution. Now, this is in the 1950s, so pollution's gone through a few iterations over the years, and now it's called climate change. Or global warming was its old name, but it keeps getting rebranded. When I was a kid, they told us that if we didn't do something huge immediately, that the global sea levels were going to rise 2 meters. And that was when I was like 10 or 15 years old. 30 years later, still not happened. This is a made-up problem. And there's a lot of good material out there on why this is a made-up problem. But the number one is this Iron Mountain report in which they planned it. The second thing that would create a global threat that would override national laws and bring about the need for one world government was I can't even say this word. That would, and you watch the WHO make moves and begin the process of superseding the laws of national government and taking over national government so that the WHO would be the de facto world government. Thankfully, that has failed. And I will keep your eye open because they have the next one set up already. It's called SEERS, SEERS. And the World Economic Forum has already done its planning event for this for 2025. So let's hope they don't get that far. Let's hope these cabal punks, let's hope they're hands-on control of the planet or whatever they've got left, whatever control they've got left. Let's hope that disappears before that. But the Iron Mountain report had a third thing happening. And this is also planned. And what they called for was an alien false flag event. And to explain that a little bit better, our spaceships will fly against our spaceships, and these guys will have alien A, and these guys will have alien B, and alien B will attack, and alien A will fight them off, and then alien A is our friend. And as a whole globe, we need to unite under a one world government so that we can integrate into the with our new alien friends. However, like everything else the cabal does, this is total BS, total nonsense. Oh, sorry, I get a bit fired up when I think about this stuff. It's not cool. How do they do this if aliens are not real? I mean, I don't get that. I can't give that statement lip service, and that they don't have any spaceships to fight with. And I want to bring to light a researcher who I don't think got enough oxygen in the conversation. His name's Richard Dolan. Richard Dolan, he nominates something called a breakaway civilization. And the basic story in 10 sentences or less is that the Roswell incident happened in the Nevada desert. They shot down an alien aircraft, and they put a photo of it in the paper, and then the next day they denied it ever happened. But what happened after that was, strangely enough, it became a black op. And the US Army spoke to the aliens and reverse engineered their ship, and then started building their own ships. And this is like 70 years ago. And ever since then, they've been building this secret space program, or several of them, and exploring space. But the Earth culture is paying for it, and we don't know what it's doing. Now, you may ask the question, where do they get the money for that? And the answer is the black budget. You may remember, now you have something called the US military industrial complex, which had access to this, hundreds of years advanced alien technology. And they needed a lot of money to build a fleet and to start exploring our galaxy and interfacing with all the other species that are out there. Now, you may remember on September 10, 2001, Donald Rumsfeld, the then Secretary of Defense, explained that in their accounting, they had lost 2.3 trillion. 2.3 trillion. Do you think that's enough for a space program? I sure do. And then to cover it up, the next day, 2 planes hit 2 towers and the world was never the same again. And we had terrorism, which, gave the Defense Department carte blanche to start more wars, which it did. Don't underestimate the willingness of the cabal to sacrifice human lives to save their own public image. And I will bring back the Monica Lewinsky affair, where the president was about to be impeached, and the day before the impeachment, he kickstarted the war in Iraq again, and there was a bombing for 2 or 3 months. No ground was taken. They just needed the face of the war. And then after 2 or 3 months, once the impeachment stuff went away, they went to peace with Iraq again. That's how willing they are to sacrifice human lives to save their own skin. So don't underplay that. And the next thing that they're doing, and you can see it in the media now, like I think I've seen 2 different alien craft shot down by our fighters, right? Of the 3 cards that were offered to them in the Iron Mountain report to play, they've played 2 of them to no effect. They've played 2 of them, and it's just demonstrated how full of it they are, how many lies they're willing to tell, for how long, and how extremely they're willing to tell them. And so this 3rd card of alien invasion, or foiled alien invasion, and us finding our new friends, and I'm willing to bet those new friends are the reptilians. I'm willing to bet. And the reptilians are the ones who've been oppressing them, and through them oppressing us for thousands of years, if my tracking of them through history is correct. My point is, this whole story is the biggest load of nonsense you will ever hear. Don't buy into it. These aliens are not our friends. Neither team of them are our friends. The people behind this plot are just grasping at their last straw to hold on to power. And remember that this alien invasion is timed at exactly the same time as the Jeffrey Epstein client list is about to be released. And that will read like a who's who of global power. I cannot imagine who is in global power who wasn't on that list. The samples I've seen of that list, there are some big names. So who am I to be commenting on this? Well, I've been working in this field for a few years now, and this is the kind of work that we do. Now, you may have heard the US Army has these people called remote viewers. I call it astral travel, and I manage teams of people who fly around and foil the cabal's plans. Whatever magic they're trying to do, and they do use a lot of black magic, whatever magic they're trying to do to hoodwink or pull the wool over humanity's eyes, we're there to try and stop it. And most of their allies are non-physical, so we never see them. You know, the ones that we see walking around on Earth, those odd photographs that you catch from time to time, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There are hordes of them that they're importing from around the galaxy to change things in their favor here. And our teams have been going out there and blowing their heads off. And we've been very successful, based on the fact that the human animal is much more powerful intrinsically than the other ones. And this is the thing that underpins the entire game. Now, these evil punks at the top, evil has a few characteristics. It can't create for itself, doesn't have any imagination, and it has a constant thirst, a constant need for something called loosh. Now, this loosh is emotional energy, and they prefer negative emotional energy, which we will headline under misery and or fear. And that is the food that their people eat. That is what powers their machines, and that is what makes their war machine, their juggernaut, possible. And so they don't want to kill humanity, but they do want to occupy the planet, make us all fearful and miserable, and soak up all of the good emotion that we create. You see, evil is no longer connected to source, so it has to parasite off of beings who are connected to source, like humans. And it's that source connection that makes us so much more powerful, so incredibly powerful. Our teams have been working for years, and the fighting has been so thick and relentless over the last couple of years. But we have managed to marginalize the reptilians and their replacement species, an insectoid group called the mantoids. And in the last few months, we've been rounding on Satan and his crew. Now, remember that the Cabal, their secret weapon is their relationship with Satan. All of the black magic they do, they have a team on the other side to do their bidding, Satan and his cohort. And our team has been assassinating, marginalizing, banishing, sending to the other end of the galaxy his staff one by one. We're all very effective exorcists. And we're so close to the end. It's so close. So my message to you is this alien drama that's playing out or is about to play out right now. Don't listen. Don't let it happen. Shut it down. Don't let it be. Give it as much oxygen as we are currently giving the global health emergency. Give it that kind of reaction, and the Cabal will be no more. This is the last card they have to play. They have nothing else. And the Jeffrey Epstein document release, the Jeffrey Epstein list, will result in mass arrests and the end of the war in Ukraine, because it's the same people who started that. And it's the same people who are still pushing that global health crisis. And so if you want to solve all of those problems at once, don't let this alien game play out the way they want to. Don't let this card succeed in dominating the news or dominating our conversation, because really it's just one more smokescreen to hide our enemies' faces, and we all know who they are. So please look at my YouTube channels, Alibar Jones, which was going really well until they shadow banned it. So now I have Alibar Jones 2, which has more current updates. I also have a channel on Rumble, and one of the things our team does is we resolve unresolvable mental health issues. And so if you're not satisfied with the results you're getting from conventional medicine, give us a call, because it's very, very simple. All mental health issues are caused by demonic interference. And I'll repeat that. All mental health issues are caused by demonic interference. We also have an education program that takes people from zero to the tippity top of the psychic game. And so hang out with us and become a master. You'll love it. Like and subscribe to the channel. And I look forward to seeing more of you. Ciao for now, everyone. Bye-bye.